Welcome to Still Moments. My name's Paula. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the 5 art elements, value. Value is the relationship between areas based on their dark and light. Sometimes it's called tone, sometimes brightness, sometimes shade. If you look at a scale, a graduated scale of tone, this is just in black. You could do this with any color. Black to the middle value is known as the low key values. From white to the middle tone values is known as the high key values. One way to practice your value and tonal qualities in your painting is to start with just a simple circle. And as you shade it, it will become a 3-dimensional object. This would be a painting that is focusing on the low key values from your black to your midtones. This right here would be your highlight. In the middle are your midtones. You have a core shadow at some point where it's your darkest, and then you have a reflection. So the surface that it is sitting on is reflecting a little bit of light right there. And then this is your cast shadow. And the shadow gradiates. It's a gradient shadow as it goes across and goes from light to darker tones. If I do a different painting where I focus on the high key values, so the light source is here, that would be my highlight. Again, my middle tones, at some point there's a core shadow, a reflection right here. And remember, your reflection should not be as light as your highlight. It's just a little bit. And then this would be the cast shadow. So if you want to practice this out on your own, you would either freehand a circle, and don't worry about how perfect it is or isn't, or you could take a compass, like I have right here, an old school compass, and you would draw out a circle, and then you would decide where your light source is. If it's going to be from the top, which side, what direction. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to go ahead and make it come from my right hand. So I would use very little paint, create a very soft highlight. Your highlight would also depend on how bright your light source is. So if you're doing one of these value charts for your own reference, you would leave this one with no paint at all. And then as you go over here, this would be as thick of a paint, almost pure from the tube as possible. And it has kind of a shininess to it because it's so much just pure paint. Then in between, you would add half paint, half water, and then as you go across, you'd fill in the other areas. This would be nothing, pure white. So right next to it, it would be a very faint, just barely any pigment. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and we'll catch you next time. Please hit the like button if you've liked this basic art 101, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for joining me.